Atari's Roadblasters was released in 1987 to much critical acclaim. The object of the game is to complete all 50 rallies without running out of fuel. There is no limit to how many vehicles a player can receive to complete a rally as long as they have fuel. However, the destruction of the vehicle will subtract a small amount of the player's fuel tank.
Approaching rally point.
Shoot opponents for score.
Danger, lines ahead.
Starting off with a pretty good rendition of the arcade's title theme, the Amiga game looks promising, but how many times have we seen that in the past? Great title screen, awful game. Well, to be fair, the Amiga version plays quite well when using the mouse. In fact, it's a pretty good port. Just a shame that the graphics look a little Microsoft Paint level and the scrolling is pretty jerky. The ST port has awful music, so it's best to play the game with it switched off. Graphically it's quite like the Amiga, however seems to look less Microsoft Paint like due to the thinner black lines being used. The game also seems to run smoother. What's really odd about this Famicom port is that you have to push up to accelerate like on the home computer ports. Graphically it's a bit sad, to be honest. The Famicom can do much better. On the plus side, it's fast and quite smooth. All round a pretty good port for an 8-bit system. Looking rather good, it's nice to see a CPC getting its own port rather than a crappy Spectrum port. Sadly, the Amstrad game is a little on the slow side, which can take away a lot of the enjoyment. Saying that, it's not too bad, and something CPC fans should check out. I had high hopes for the C64 version of Roadblasters, but unfortunately it's awful. The car controls well enough, but there's no sense of speed at all. In fact, at some points, you'd swear you weren't even moving. All in all, a pretty dull game. First of all, please excuse the poor emulation being used for the Lynx version. It looks much better than this running on real hardware. Anyway, the Lynx port is the only one to feature the arcade speech, and it is the closest to arcade home port. A fantastic version of Roadblasters that must be tried. Just a shame about those low resolution Lynx graphics.
To increase performance.
most of us, the Mega Drive port of Roadblasters is the one to own. While it doesn't feature the arcade speech unlike the Lynx version, it does resemble the arcade's presentation, graphics and gameplay. Maybe the worst version of Roadblasters? Well, maybe runner up with the C64 version. This Spectrum port is pretty painful to play thanks to the slow pace and questionable collision detection. Okay, and let's take a look at all those versions of Roadblasters running side by side.